Okay, my name is Stottko, I'm the responsible sales manager of SMA. Я сегодня буду говорить по-английски, потому что мой русский не так хорошо, как я думаю, мне нужен. Может быть, мне нужен еще 2-3 года, и тогда будет... Тогда я буду эту презентацию тоже по-русски. But today in the morning I was thinking, oh, it's already the 6th CISOLAR. Who else in this room is for the 6th time here? I was 6th time at CISOLAR. Who else? Почти единственный здесь. Окей, например, я хочу для вас, I want to show you a small movie. Could you please start our movie? And I want to listen also something. We have some sound, or?
As the heart of the system, need to be equipped for everything. But how are they made fit for global use? We are in the development test area for central inverters. This is where we test the devices, from components to products, for different aspects such as functionality, safety, reliability, and grid integration. We can supplement all this with tests on our own PV systems, allowing us to examine the whole system. We also perform on-site inspections of large customer systems. All of the findings are then incorporated into development. In our large climatic chamber, we are able to reach temperature ranges of -40 to +90 degrees Celsius.
We start testing of our products quite early in the development phase of the products already. We have several test loops during the development of the product. We do tests for certification for each market or each region. And we do test our products thoroughly during the production. SMA produces solar inverters for worldwide installations, so we take the whole world into our lab. We do tests of worldwide grid codes and quality measurements like efficiency. With our self-developed test systems, we simulate the photovoltaic generator and the grid side, which is unique in this degree of automation. With our test, we can guarantee that SMA inverters run grid-friendly and fulfill all national standards.
In the background, you can see our performance test chamber, where 100% of our inverters undergo a 65-minute test at full performance and at maximum temperature of 50 degrees Celsius. In addition to a fully automatic functional test, an insulation and wiring test is performed before the inverter starts our performance test. The stack is the heart of the inverter. It converts DC energy into AC energy. We test every stack thoroughly at full performance as an individual component before it is installed in the inverter. Spot checks are also conducted by other inverter manufacturers. However, I am relatively sure that we are the only ones who carry out a 100% test. Electronic devices emit electromagnetic waves, of course. If the thresholds are exceeded, then, for example, radio communication could be disrupted, and this is where we check these thresholds. Or on the other hand, if the device is too susceptible to interference, then cell phones could disrupt the operation of the device. We have an accredited laboratory here. This accreditation proves that we perform laboratory management in accordance with internationally recognized regulations, and that we test the inverters correctly in line with standards. Consumer products are usually expected to meet service life requirements of between a few hundred and a few thousand hours. But our inverters have to be ready for operation without any failures for tens of thousands of hours. Unfortunately, we don't have a time machine. But by means of accelerated aging with heat, cold, and temperature changes, we can gain information about the service life of our devices.
And we don't compromise on quality. So with all our quality measures, with our testing during development and during production, we ensure that we can keep the high level of SMA quality, even when we offer the best possible price for our products.
SMA has more than 35 years of experience in inverter technology. In our test centers, we gather new findings each and every day, systematically. Each experience helps to further improve the quality of our inverters.
Thank you. The presentation, please. Give you a small impression, especially of our test capabilities. I think also the guys which talked before me, we were talking a lot about quality. And testing is part of quality, because at the end we want to ensure the quality, because with this we ensure reliability, and with this we ensure the profit of the investors. The interest of the investors for a reliable, profitable plant, this is our mission, what we want to fulfill. No one knows better solar than SMA. Why? We are now 35 years on this market. We have an installed capacity of more than 55 gigawatts all over the world. We are headquartered in Germany. We are 50% privately owned. We are profitable, what you have to say in this business, especially if you are a privately owned company. And we are still the global leader in PV business. We invented the first string inverter in the world, SMA commercialized string inverters. We are 100% focused today with the whole company on solar business and battery storages. And we had in 2016 around 1 billion euro turnover just with solar inverters. We are present with production in 3 countries. Our main production facility, Our main production facility is in Germany. We have production facilities also in Poland and in China. We are present in 19 countries of the world with sales and service daughter companies, and we are active in 190 countries. 1 of 6 inverters in the world are SMA inverters today. We offer to our clients products for all business cases at the moment, which you can see in the solar world: residential, commercial, utility, off-grid. What for me in the last year is a little bit funny, because we know there's discussions about centralized and decentralized design. What is better? And what sometimes is very obviously, companies which producing just string inverters will sell always decentralized design is better. Companies which produce only central inverters will say always centralized design is better. What our finding is, yes, it depends on the project and the location of the project. You don't have the answer, this system is better. So you need a deep knowledge about the project, pros and cons, and you will find always different solutions. We are the technology leader still, and maybe here some to remind a little bit the history. In 1991 we introduced our first string inverter. SMA also commercialized the transformerless technology that today I think 95% of the inverters, solar inverters are without transformers, was started by SMA. We made at the end the production from solar inverters, from handmade to mass production. We produce still the solutions with the highest yields for the investors, and we have experience now for more than 20 years in monitoring of solar stations. What an inverter has to go through before we release them. And I think I gave you a first impression, and at the end, one important factor is all the stuff about EMI, electromagnetical emissions and immunity. Just to give you an impression, you have to follow around 20 different norms just to fulfill all these requirements. And these are not special German norms, these are international norms, which are usually provided by IEC, and from my knowledge, more or less all normative systems in the world are based on this IEC norms. We make environmental tests, mechanical tests. We even test our packages if you have damages through transport. We check reliability of the products. We make life cycle simulations. So we try to simulate the life of an inverter. And finally, we do automatic test systems through our production. What we have at the end, each inverter is tested, it's 100%. We make for 1 to 5% of the inverters, we make a special endurance test, and then we make through production also tests for abnormal tests, temperature shock tests, and temperature. This is an ongoing process. Also, one of the reasons is we don't throw inverters away which are broken at our clients. We want to have our inverters back because we want to analyze them. We want to learn what we can make better in our production. Another reason why we have such a nice test center is from time to time we can look a little bit on questions which are important for quality and which should influence your decision what kind or which inverter you are buying. And currently we have a very strong competition in the inverter market. I think everyone is seeing this. What we find out at the moment is if you make temperature tests, and I think people which are familiar with electronics knows that if you have too high temperatures, this is not good for electronics. What you can say, finally, for each 10 degrees higher temperature, your lifetime of the product will be reduced by half. What we currently see, and that's especially from companies which say, yes, passive cooling is the best solution, that you see by measurement in this kind of inverters that they have on important parts 20 degrees higher temperatures. For instance, SMA, for commercial and industrial solutions, we design a lifetime of around 100,000 operating hours. Everyone who can count in a solar inverter works 12 hours per day will count that the designed lifetime is around 20 years. So if you have 20 degrees higher component temperatures, you decrease the lifetime by 75%. That means maybe around to 30, 35 hours of operation. That means maybe 6, 7 years. So you dramatically decrease the lifetime by passive cooling, and you can find it out by measurement of components inside the inverters. Another point, what we see, yes, a solar station has to work over the day, and I think also in Ukraine, let's say here the main production time is in summer, and we have here regular temperatures about 30 degrees. And what we see in our test laboratories is that you have inverters, they are marked as 30 kV inverters, and if you have temperatures over 20 degrees, ambient temperatures, you already start with a D rating. This, at the end, you don't have any more the power for all the time. For instance, we keep a lot of efforts, or SMA keeps a lot of efforts, to keep the output power of inverters stable up to for temperatures much over 40 degrees, up to 50 degrees. To see. We see that, for instance, for temperatures over 30 degrees, you already have a decreased output power of 20%. What you don't find today, even in the data sheets, you have a very rare knowledge of this information. This both together leads in fact that you have system designs where you burn money. At the end, you install more inverters, and it's a cost situation. More inverters cost more money, more inverters which you have to install cost money, and more inverters you have in the field, you have more service and maintenance. So we strongly focusing, you have this trend, especially in the last years, due to falling feed-in tariffs, due to falling prices for solar energy, which you have to offer in tender processes, like in Germany, or like today in Poland, or like in the Arab countries. You must sharpen, you have to sharpen the, let's say, the inverter DC-AC ratio. This reduces the levelized cost of electrical energy. And that you can do it, you need inverters which also can work with full power for a long time. So under each condition, environmental condition from the temperatures. Here in Ukraine, in Germany, or in Saudi Arabia. Finally, the first 3 points which I showed you, this is just some stuff, let's say it harms the investor. It makes, let's say, the profitability of the plants for the investor a little bit less. The last point, and this is one of the bigger findings what we have at the moment, what you see is that there are solar inverters which don't fulfill the EMI regulations. And this is not just an economical problem. For instance, in Germany, I also believe in Ukraine, it's a legal problem. You have a real legal problem if you disturb with your solar station, for instance, the flight safety systems, you disturb maybe military communication, other communication systems, and so on. Then you have a legal problem. And then are coming the authorities maybe to your plant and you have to switch off. Why they are sometimes so bad about EMI? It's cost reduction. You need filters, filters cost money. Filters produce heat. So there's coming a lot of together. What I can say is SMA really have a hard look also on our competitors with our competence from testing. And currently we see that in the world, driven by price pressure, there is a lot what investors have to look to ensure their legal safety and to ensure their profit for the station. Finally, I just want to show 2 smaller products. Maybe we are quite active now in Ukraine for 6 years. I think our installed base is now around 50 megawatt. Currently, with our last product, SDP60, Ukraine was our 10th important market for this product in the last year. We will increase this inverter, and this is a good news also for further cost reduction, to a 75 kV inverter. So feel free to talk with us about your possibilities. I also want to put your, and this is then again about reducing costs. With this inverter system, we reduce the cabling costs, and if you are following our design advices, I think everyone who knows me, I'm very willing to share the know-how, what we have in system design, to create with you together some solar system which makes you really profitable, or which it's in your interest. That's how it can look like. And the last presentation is just 2 slides. We introduce now a 50 kV inverter to the market, also to Ukraine. I think it will be available in August, September, completely for the market. We target with this large rooftop applications, carport, ground-mounted installations. It's a direct successor of our 25 kV inverter. So it's a fully equipped inverter with 6 MPP trackers, with all the voltage protectors on AC and DC side, with all the grid management functions what you have today on time. I get pressure from the left. I hope, I want to just to say, and some of the guys also say, always cheaper is not the solution. It will harm the profit of the investors. And this we are seeing, and so I'm here. Feel free to meet you. Thanks you for your attention. Спасибо вам.
Thank you. I have only one little question for you. What your impression, what your opinion, and of course what your sweet dreams about the Ukrainian marketplace?
Oh, вам знаете, я люблю эту страну, я люблю людей в этом стране. Тогда my impression is always very positive. What I like about this country most is the optimism of the people. what I like about the business in Ukraine, yes, it's tough, and we have mentality, but what I also can assure you from my impression, so special you are also not. You are also very similar to all the clients all over the world, so it's not, you can say it's a miracle. I think with reliability and with long-term presence and engagement in this market, you can be successful. Yes, and I like, yeah, what can I say, I'm a man, it's very big honor for me here. If I can see the woman in Ukraine, it's always a pleasure for me. So,
Thank you.